Cinema has passed through the void and entered a new reality, a new universe, you might say. So, before I get into why I think Multiverse of Madness could be a big deal, here's a quick zero spoiler review, or skip to this time frame to just go to the main course. Okay, so in terms of story, it's fairly straightforward. Someone out there wants to use the multiverse for their own nefarious ends, regardless of the damage it could cause, and it's up to Strange and his people to stop them. And cue transdimensional hijinks complete with masses of Marvel brand cartoonish spectacularity. There's some words for you. It may or may not follow the Marvel curse of the villain being the mirror image of the hero, depending on how you look at it. But either way, it's fairly standard Marvel fare, which I hate to say is becoming more and more unreal with every film. Gone are the reality with a touch of magic days of Iron Man and Captain America. We're definitely more towards fantasy than reality in the MCU now. And one thing that is new though, is that after tackling martial arts films and then spy films, sort of, Marvel is now making horror films. And make no mistake, this is a genuine horror, complete with supernatural danger, gore, demons, jump scares. If you want to introduce your kids to the horror genre, Marvel's got you covered. Of course, we shouldn't be surprised by that, given that it's Sam Raimi of Evil Dead fame making this, along with a few other spooky titles that he's made. And it's great to see Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead making a cameo. So, are these the huge changes that I'm talking about? Heck no! And now, the thing the title's about. Consider, Avengers Assemble was a turning point. It was the first time successful characters, instead of getting a spin-off from a successful franchise, got a spin-on, creating a successful crossover event. Technically not the first, but the first to spawn the famed interconnected universe. And as much as this was hugely successful, it also caused a problem. Let me explain. When I met the woman that I have since married, I had to walk her through 20 plus Marvel movies just so I could take her to the cinema to watch the next one. As with any TV show with a previously recap tells us, the further you get into a serialized story, the more catching up there is to do. And somewhere around Marvel Phase 3, the films just stopped explaining what had happened before. It was a case of, if you don't know by now, you're on your own. And we see the power of a franchise that can actually afford to do that and still be successful, which is pretty impressive. However, with Doctor Strange, they've gone a lot further. See, MCU films are available on any number of platforms, so if you want to catch up, you can. However, one of the main plot points in Multiverse of Madness is based on a Disney Plus series, WandaVision. And I don't mean a subplot or an Easter egg or something trivial, I mean a major central thrust to the whole narrative. Now, someone actually said to me, it isn't that difficult to figure out, but that's assuming you have the time to, because there's a lot going on in this film. The story's a bit messy with a bunch of threads running throughout, and there's constant noisy action, so piecing together a backstory isn't really the ideal thing to have to do. And the people I went to see it with, some of them hadn't seen WandaVision, they had no clue what was going on, so clearly the producers expect you to be up to date with all MCU content before watching this. And unlike MCU films, WandaVision is locked exclusively behind the Disney Plus paywall. For the first time in history, a general release movie requires the viewer to subscribe to a streaming service. This is huge, don't underestimate this. We're living in a period of change with a bloody streaming war going on, it's cutthroat competition, and everyone in Hollywood is asking, where does cinema even fit in anymore? A bunch of lawsuits already happened due to ham-fisted attempts to combine the two. And with box office sales dwindling, along with any interest in the Oscars, it seems, the question is out there about the relationship between streaming and cinema. Can they benefit each other? Can they coexist? Or will one inevitably cannibalize the other? Well, with Multiverse of Madness, Disney seems to be doing something. maybe making a statement, and a big one at that. Where the MCU series were once spin-offs of the films, it's possible they're making it the other way around. They may as well put the Disney Plus logo on their films now as a sign that this, dear non-subscriber, isn't for you. It's a huge risk. I mean, studios work really hard for the family rating on their films to make them accessible as possible to as many people as possible. But with this move, they're actually narrowing the potential market to only the hardcore fan base. And think about this. Star Wars is also currently primarily driven by Disney Plus. Will the same happen there? How about Paramount Plus and Star Trek, or Amazon Prime and James Bond? Increasingly, big properties are owned by big streamers. If Disney's gambit here works, movies being mere public episodes of exclusive streaming properties could be the shape of things to come. And that's if it succeeds. And will it? Well, Batman is the third most valuable comic book character in the world, and whose latest film scored an opening weekend of $254 million. Multiverse of Madness just earned $450 million, and I wonder how many new Disney Plus subscriptions it's earned from people wanting to understand that backstory. Strange days ahead, my people. Ouch. Anyway, what do you think? Have I got this wrong? Am I overthinking? Just go ahead and give me your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to help me reach more people with these in-depth reviews, then hit that like button and subscribe for more content, and do me a favour, be a babe and share this with someone who you think would like it. And with that, have a great day.